அருள்மிகு பழனியாண்டவர் ஆர்ட்ஸ் காலேஜ் ஃபார் உமன் ஃப்ரம் பழனி. Topic title is Library Governance. Library governance is a set of policies, roles and responsibilities set up by the board to direct the organization, institution, department that identifies how a board will conduct business, how power will be divided and delegated, and what process will be set up to achieve accountability. In the case of library, it is the library committee authority who can set the policy, roles and responsibilities of the library for smooth financing of the library. The librarian generally acts as the secretary to the committee, and it is his duty to prepare the agents for the committee meetings by giving facts of each item for good library governance. Library services. Following are guidance principles for effective library governance. Build a solid governance framework that including by laws, policies and an achievable plan. Make sure it works and keep it in shape. Make good directions. Know what it is that you need to achieve. Assess what you have accomplished and report progress regularly. Know what information you need and where and how to get it in order to manage risk. Know where and how to get the resource you need. Next, remember you are not there to manage, you are there to govern and support the library missions and purpose. Perform an annual review of the mission and vision statements. Next, assist to ensure effective library planning. Understand program and services. Ensure that the adequate resources and management of resources are in budget. Serve as a current of appeal and assess the board's performance. Library authority. A library authority can be an individual or a group of individuals that manages all the activities of the library as an institution, such as directing, controlling, motivating, deciding and coordinating. Types of library committees. Ad hoc committee. It is a special committee of participants with foresight and intellect to perform special jobs pertaining to library growth, supervision and management. The people in the committee take rapid and intelligent decisions through less independently. Elected committee. It is a body of people elected by a large committee that delegates the decision making and operations. The elected committee needs to report to the larger parent committee, self-sustaining committee. It is the body of people who created the library. It has sole authority to control the funds and library management. And executive committee. It is the committee to which the library authority delegates complete decision rights in some crucial matters. This committee is one which has full power in those matters and it need not reports to his library authority. Reporting committee. It decides some policies within certain extents. It need to report to the authority and get approval. Recommending committee. It has no real power for decision making or operations. It can recommend proposals on library government which the library authority approves. Characteristics of library authorities. First, use of power and impressive personality. Next, experience and knowledgeable person and impress to library personnel. Expectation from library personnel. Scope of authority. Function of library authority. They are directing, controlling, decision making, make a coordination between personnels and distribution of rights and responsibilities and motivate to library staff. Library committee. A public library has an advisory committee that guides the operations of library, plans and monitors the overall progress of library and is responsible for fundraising. Need of library committee. To make a policy for the library development, to lack of control, to lack of efficiency in the decision making, to develop of library, to achieve the library aims, to need of financial aspects, to create coordination between income and expenditure. Source of finance. The economic and financial pressures are mounting on libraries due to increased cost of information materials, ever-growing and diverse demands. Third, adoption of new technology. Fourth, need for new space and infrastructure to cope with new environment, and increase in wages and salaries. Interlibrary loan and resources sharing, new programs and projects to justify the extension of library. Academic libraries. University libraries. University libraries receive the regular funds from the respective universities and special grants from both the University Grant Commission and the state governments. The UGC grants are mainly planned grants, whereas the state government's grants are mainly non-planned grants. However, government grants are not given to the libraries directly, but government gives grant to the university, and then the university allots to the library the necessary share out of the same. The University Grants Commission grants are mainly of three types. They are recurring, non-recurring, and ad hoc grants. College libraries. A question often asked is, how much does it cost each year to run a good library? The amount will vary from college to college depending on the nature of the curriculum, the quantity and quality of service expected, and the quality of the present collection. The total student strength in a college is another criterion to be taken into consideration while allotting funds for college library. The problems of financing a library of an established college are different from those of a new colleges. The need of the former and confined to acquiring materials to remedy weaknesses and to keep the collection up to date, whereas the latter must build up to complete basic collection. School libraries. Promoting good library service in school depends very much on finance. In the case of primary schools, lower fee rates for library service can be fixed as there will be less expensive books needs for students of lower classes. It is necessary that the entire library fee collected from students should be spent exclusively on books and equipments. Public library. The main source of public library revenues or subscription, a library access and grant from the government and endowments. Library expenditure planning. You know how an idea of how a library gets financed for running its library services. Expenditure is the second important aspect of financial management. Library expenditure occupies the same place in the study of financial management as consumption does in the daily life of an individual. As consumption is the end of all economic activities, so also library expenditure is the end of all financial activities of a library. Importance of library expenditure. Just as you spend money on your books and studies, so do the library spend money on the books and periodicals, readers, services, reference and bibliographical services, documentation and information services, etc. Classification of library expenditure. Generally speaking, money spent on building costly equipments and furniture is shown against capital expenditure, and other items which occur almost throughout the year like books and periodicals, stationery and postages, binding and contingency, salaries and wages, etc. are shown against current expenditure. However, you can classify library expenditure according to different headwise: salaries and wages, binding, stationery, postage, contingency, books and periodicals, furniture, building equipment and publications. Budget method and techniques. To predict the library future services cost and other costs to achieve the desired goal. To anticipate the library future financial condition and future needs for funds with a view to keeping the library active and up to date. To coordinate the efforts to different departments of the library towards the common objectives. to accelerate the efficiency of operation of different divisions and departments of the library, to fix the responsibilities of the different department heads, to have effective control over the library fund. Methods of library budget: line by line item budget, lump sum budget, formula budget, program budget, performance budget, planning program budget system, and zero-based budget. Cost benefit analysis. Cost benefit analysis is an important aspect of management and help in decision making. To study the feasibility of any system, to evaluate it, or to choose one system out of several alternatives, the decision making authorities have to make a cost benefit analysis. In this process, the total cost involved in terms of equipments, materials, and manpower have to be taken into account, including the value of all the benefits. Who prepares the budget in most of the libraries? Librarians and senior staff prepare the budget in most of the libraries. The budget is sent to the higher authorities for approval, and after security and review, it is approved. There are some methods of creating a library budget which is traditionally practiced in the library, and some newly developed methods are also used. Importance of human resource management in library. Each and every employee of the libraries has to contribute individually and also collectively to the success of the organization. At the low level, they have to contribute to a goal. To make them contribute, the HRM team has to work harder. It is found that the contribution of an employee is low when they do not know what they are doing. Lack of knowledge on a particular process or technology leads to low productivity in the organization. The HR department should identify such employee and train them in the necessary skill. They should also know the individual and group psychology to deal with such employees in the organization. Function of HRM in library administration: manpower planning, job analysis and job descriptions, selection and recruitment, motivating training and development, leadership and performance evaluation, and decision and grievances. Grievances. Level of management: top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. Categorization of staff. Academic library staff until recently was categorized into the following three levels of positions, through their nomenclature may differ from library to library. That is, professional staff, semi-professional staff affects manpower planning and staffing in all aspects. Non-professional staff. The development of management techniques and their application in library has helped in adding another category at managerial level to the above three, but this fourth category is not yet recognized distinctly from professional staff category in libraries, because generally the managerial function are taken care of by the senior professional staff. Leadership. They can serve as role model and mentors to their colleagues who are newly considering way to extend their own leadership roles from the library to the institution. Any libraries can be a leader, and academic librarians should be leaders. What are 5 most important motivations for staff? Make work meaningful, challenges employees to grow, ensure work in mutually beneficial, create an inspiring environment, drive a culture of recognition. Staff is generally motivated by job satisfaction, organizational growth and development, a positive work environment, and sincere recognition of individual and group achievements. 2 basic motivational approaches are often effective with frontline employees: cross training and staff rotation. Thank you.